Thank you, Anthony. So we tried to take a very local, and here we're going to broaden it out with a couple of gentlemen from Vets for Energy. And they're going to talk a little bit about what this means from their perspective. We have James McCormick and Captain Tony Caldarelli. And when I'm looking through their bios and was introduced to them by Speaker Turzai and work they've done before, really impressive. Just like a lot of folks in the military, what you notice when you read through their bio, words that stick out like Iraq and service there. Another thing that kind of uniquely sticks out is a understanding of logistics, both serving in some of those roles. So you understand the complexity of that type of business, and you also understand the complexity of oil and gas and commodity markets, and what it means not just here but abroad. So with that, I believe, James, you were going to speak first. So I wanted to introduce James McCormick, who's going to talk a little bit here. So thank you, James.
Well, I'd like to, first off, say that you can probably tell by my accent I'm not from Philly. And I'm not from Texas either. So I'm actually from West Virginia. I served 22 years in the United States Army. I had a very good career. I did serve 2 tours of combat duty in Iraq. 26 months in combat. I was wounded 3 times. I am a Purple Heart recipient times 3. I was awarded the Silver Star and 2 Bronze Stars for valor. I don't like saying that because I like to be more humble and allow basically your resume to speak for itself. But I think that it's important to point these things out because I served as a company commander with logistics background and with infantry background, and I have seen the madness that goes on in the other part of the world. And I've also seen a lot of very good, fine young men and women give their lives in defense of this nation and to serve in places like Iraq. After 9/11, it was not hard. We didn't have to have a draft. 980,000 Pennsylvania veterans is what you have here. 980,000. Probably more than that now, because you see many of them coming back, and they just go back into their lives and they try to make a living and support their families. This opportunity, as I sit here and I listen and I see the vision. You know, as we drove the bus in here, we also drove by a memorial and how this place was set up to deliver fuel and petro clear across the waters during another war called World War II. And there's a monument out there dedicated to the seamen and the sailors that were killed by German submarines taking that over from here. Your whole history screams out. The very foundation of our country sits not far from here. What a wonderful place to be. Iraq is not so much that way. We have become overly dependent on foreign energy sources. We have allowed ourselves to be enslaved and pulled into areas like the Persian Gulf, where friends like my very good friend who grew up in New Jersey, Seth DeVorn, lost his life on a road in Iraq on February the 2nd of 2004. Or a young lady named Jessica Houseby from Rock Island, Illinois, that was a nursing student that joined the reserves and was driving a truck that lost her life in June of 2004. Driving cargo, transporting things. And the many that have been crippled, and I can give you names. I've got 19 friends. I have 19 bands, little black bands that at times I wear, and every person, every name is a representative of a family that lost and sacrificed in Iraq. Why am I here with Vets for Energy? Because they have a vision for doing something for our veterans, but they also, let's get beyond the jobs. Let's talk about our national security that is at stake. Let's talk about the opportunities, $10 billion. And the map that was just up here, I'm from West Virginia. I look, there's a hub that comes down that goes into West Virginia. It affects Ohio. It affects Pennsylvania. I tell you, it affects the whole country when you provide jobs and careers and opportunities like that. So my goal here today is to tell you that I have a personal investment. My son, who was 8 years old at the time of 9/11, just came back from a tour of duty in Afghanistan. I've got a son that was 3 years old on 9/11 that enlists next week. And though I'm very proud of their service, as a father that knows very well what they will face when they hit those countries that we have become so entangled in because of our overdependence on foreign energy sources, it bothers me greatly. And I wonder if I'm going to be like Richard DeVorn one day, and they're going to drive up to my house and say, "We're sorry, Mr. McCormick, but your son's been killed." And that's a very real thing that I live with and feel every day. So it is so important that we get this right. Not just because of my son, but because of the thousands and thousands of sons and daughters of your constituents that are going over there tour after tour. And we've seen the horrific suicide rates, and we've heard all of this, 22 veterans a day that are killing themselves, and we see all of these things that are going on, homeless veterans, we can find them everywhere. Wouldn't it be nice to be able to give them an opportunity, not only when they come back, but also an opportunity that will keep them here and serving their country and taking care of the national interests? You have a tremendous opportunity to make a heck of a difference in over 980,000 lives. And I tell you, that'll be times 3, because every one of those people have at least 3 people in their family that think and vote and feel the same way. So I'm here to appeal to you, to all of you. As my good friend from the trade unions that was just here, he's appealing to you. What a great opportunity through the trade union. We have helmets to hard hats. They help our people get into the trade and train them with good paying careers. What better way to say thank you than to have them a real opportunity when they come home? Thank you very much.